Hello everyone, my name is James Durham and I'm an Anico colleague. Before we get started today, in case anyone has to get up and go, I want to share something that is so important to me I can't wait till the end. Today, I'm going to be sharing a personal example of how if you believe in yourself and share your story, it will help you and your business grow. For this example, we're going to go back on a journey I had a little over 10 years ago, where I was involved in a very bad accident and I literally died. That's right, I died. Now come on this journey with me. We're going to go back to San Antonio, Texas in 2011. On September 22nd is the exact date. On that date, I was coming home from an employee team dinner. I was on my way home going over the entry of an overpass where I was involved in a very bad motorcycle versus car accident. And before I explain more, I want you to understand that even though I was on a motorcycle, I didn't ride it like I was on Sons of Anarchy. For those of you that didn't watch that show, what I'm referring to is I didn't speed, I didn't drive crazy, and most importantly, I chose to wear a helmet no matter any distance I was going. Back to the journey. So when I was going through this overpass, a car was not unfortunately looking at oncoming traffic and T-boned me, and just like that, my life changed forever. The last thing I remember is flying over my handlebars, looking to my left, seeing a Honda logo, a female and a young child through the windshield, and then I flew into a light pole. If that light pole wasn't there, I would have gone off the bridge onto oncoming traffic of Highway 1604 below us. But on a positive aspect, I could have gone out in style. What if I would have landed in a Mercedes, the Lexus, a Cadillac, something of that kind of ballpark, but you never know. But thankfully, that pole was still there. Next thing I know, I'm laying in the arms of my grandfather who passed away 4 days after I had turned 6 years old. So it had been over 17 years since I had seen him. We had a great conversation. He told me things that he's been doing during the whole time since he passed, and obviously it wasn't my time yet. And then he shot me up in the sky to spend more time with absent loved ones that I haven't seen since childhood. But that experience is a whole nother ballpark. If you would like to learn more about my journey, I am honored and happy to share with you. Please contact HR and I'm sure they will connect us. Let's go back to the scene. After this accident happened, luckily, there was an individual there that saw the entire accident and she ended up calling University Hospital in San Antonio. They told her because of the scenario and the time frame, they could get an ambulance there in about 30 to 45 minute ballpark. She demanded life flight because how bad the accident was in the scenario. She got life flight there, and when life flight did arrive, they shocked my heart a time or two to get it beeping, and it didn't work. Then I got transferred to the hospital. My family was out in Dallas, Texas, where I'm originally from. For those of you that do not know the distance, that's about a 7 to an 8 hour drive with or without traffic, depending on the day and the time of the year you go. My family was trying to see how bad the accident was, but unfortunately, because my license plate was in the back of my motorcycle, I got checked in as John Doe. So they ended up driving. The whole night they were driving, trying to get more information, call the hospital, etc. And because of my mom being able to label my tattoos, I know some of us do have different views about tattoos, that is what gave me my ID. So thankfully, by the time they got there, they knew exactly where I was located at and who to talk to. When they arrived, they spoke to Dr. Augusto Parra and his medical team, and he explained not only how bad my accident really was, but all the surgeries that he performed. I had a broken leg, my left leg got shattered from my shifter in and out, my spleen exploded, my whole face broke, some other injuries, and I had a severe traumatic brain injury. The prognosis was that I was not going to wake up. I was in a natural coma, and he even stated himself, it's up to James and God right now, but James can't do it alone. So all we can do is pray. We've done everything we can. And the power of prayer got spread everywhere, nationally and internationally. Everyone took time out of their day to continue praying, and honestly, that is what allowed God to make the move and give me the opportunity to return. And when I woke up, I don't want you to assume, he just woke up kind of back to normal. No, I woke up and it had different time frames, 10 seconds a day, 15 seconds, 20 seconds, and so forth. But the prognosis was not good. I would never be able to be by myself again, hospital bed permanently. Memory span on a good day would be about a 5-minute. Most importantly, whenever anyone spoke to me, no matter who they were or what they wanted to talk about, it would be like speaking Portuguese. But obviously God had a different plan, in fact, because When they were given that prognosis to my family and on my medical record, and no negative aspect on this, but my first words were, "Mom, be quiet." So I remember my mom, but I did tell her to be quiet, and she was amazed, and so was the doctors. Then I got transferred to Tier Memorial Hermann in Houston, Texas. That was another God wink, and I really had to go through how to become the new me, and pardon my French, but how to be disabled. Live in a wheelchair. 1 means yes, 2 means no. Eat through a trach. I'm blind and deaf on the left side, so I had to really learn how to only have one eye, one ear, etc. Which honestly was one of the most frustrating times of my life. But by believing in myself and continuing to move forward, it helped me get released from Tier early and back to San Antonio to get my skull placed back in. And for those of you that don't know what I'm referring to, I did have a craniectomy, part of my skull removed, to help my brain heal. After that, I got sent back to Dallas-Fort Worth to be living back at home with my family and start the final stage of rehabilitation. I had to relearn everything all over again, even stuff I knew how to do, like how to write, how to eat, how to do math, etc., memorization. I felt like it was more of a waste of time. But continuing to believe in myself and doing what was told and push it much more than was needed, I got released 6 months instead of a minimum of 5 years, which continued to show me that anything is possible. After that, I wanted to get into the education aspect again and try to go back to school. Before my accident, school was very difficult for me, and like a lot of us have experienced, not the real forte, if you will. But the way that my brain was literally rewired from TIER and from CNS, Center for Neuroskills, my brain injury rehabilitation, I not only enjoyed school, but I was climbing at an unbelievable ratio that I've never been able to experience before. And to top that off, I got accepted to my childhood dream of Florida State University, where my parents went, and I was granted the gift to meet my wife there. After graduating, I realized that I want to get more into speaking and sharing my story to motivate others and help them believe in themselves and understand that everyone has a story to help inspire others. So I did some speaking engagements, and the ripple effect was not only getting speaking engagements at other schools and businesses, I also got involved with the Zig Ziglar family. For those of you that know who that is, he is a life changer, and his aspect will always be enforced. He gave me more guidance of how to share my story and help me reach more people, which then helped me meet some other powerful people who we all know. One, Ron Price. He introduced me to Anico. He also introduced me to Dave Moore. Dave Moore gave me the opportunity to work for him with Capital. And I stayed with Capital for a year and really got deep, if you will, and enjoying the life insurance industry with sharing my story, but also helping people understand the benefits and aspects of life insurance itself. Was with them for a great year, but Hurricane Michael hit. So unfortunately, we had to relocate, my wife and I was curious, what am I going to do? What's going to happen? Ron had an answer. He said, you know what, I want to introduce you to Ralph Pence. And I sat down, got introduced to Ralph, and Ralph gave me the ropes and said, look, I will take you under my wing and help you out. And I honestly assumed it's going to be just like Capital. So I had an idea of what I was doing, which it was good. Coming back to my homeland, helping people with life insurance, sharing my story, it did work. But then Ralph had a little hidden agenda. He introduced me to his son, Jordan. And Jordan is not only my friend, but also my colleague. And with learning the key aspects of macro advisors underneath both of their wings, but especially Jordan's, it took me to a whole nother level which I have never experienced before. So Jordan is not only my friend, but also my colleague. To give you a scenario, I'm like Forrest Gump and he's like Lieutenant Dan, because he does have magic legs that he comes to my follow-up meetings with me to seal the deal and help people understand from a different perspective of how great teamwork is, but life insurance is a must. So I want to thank not only Ron, Ralph, Jordan, and Dave, but I also want to take a minute and thank Dr. Augusta Parra and his team at University Hospital. I also would like to thank Dr. Testard and her team at Tier Memorial Hermann, and all of you for the opportunity to allow me to be part of this team and call you my friends. On my 3rd year in this industry, I stand before you as not only a colleague, but also as a chieftain. So if I can do it, so can you. If I can leave you on one thing after all this discussion, I want you to take note on this. If you're going to believe in anything, start believing in yourself, because that is one of the best investments you're ever going to make. Because what your mind believes and achieves, you are going to conceive the ABCs of life. Now let's welcome my colleague and dear friend, Jordan Pence. Thank you guys. One love.